So today's video is going to be my first holiday video of 2018. Today we are doing a demo and a review of 2 holiday collections that are out this year. I asked you guys on Instagram stories, which by the way, if you're not hanging out with me on Instagram stories, make sure you come find me. Asked you guys if you would be interested in seeing reviews on some of the holiday collections coming out. So I got 4 of them. No, actually I have 6. 2 more are coming. But I do have 4 of them, and I was going to do dedicated videos to each of the collections, and maybe I will do that moving forward. You guys will have to let me know if you prefer kind of comparisons and contrasts. I personally like these type of reviews when it comes to figuring out stuff like this because, I mean, honestly, I'm probably not going to end up buying multiple different gift sets of the same type of product for people, so I just want to know like which one's the better value and which one performs the best. But if you guys do want solo dolo reviews on the next ones, just let me know. You guys, I am all the way excited about holiday videos. Like, I have a list that's like this long right now, and I'm gonna have such a hard time filling anything that's not holiday related. I'm just crunk. I'm all the way turned. I never say turn. Before we get started, make sure you are subscribed if you are not. My name is Whitney. I love makeup and I love talking to you guys about makeup. If you are an OG subscriber and you've kind of not been seeing my new uploads, I've been back for a few weeks now. I did take a little or a pretty decently long hiatus, but I'm back. Just saying, if you've missed my uploads, they're there. Go back and watch them, but also make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss any going forward. My friend Jacqueline makes so much fun of me for how like much I use my hands to talk, so like watching it like right now in the viewfinder is very eye-opening. Anyway, let's just get started. At this moment, I have everything on except for like cheeks and contour and bronzer and all that stuff because, as you know from the intro and from the title, we are doing a review and a demo of 2 holiday kits that I found recently at Ulta. So the first one that we're going to be demoing today is the Tarte, what is this one called? This year it's called the Life of the Party Clay Blush Palette and Clutch. This retails for $42. Memory serves, I'm 90% sure that Tarte comes out with some form of this palette every year. I haven't bought any holiday collections in so long, I could be all the way wrong about that. The idea behind this is that you have your 5 cheek products, and then you can take this thing out and take this out as a clutch. Now, a couple of things. No tea, no shade, no pink lemonade. If this is your style, cool. I would never carry this out as a clutch, but like even if you do, what are you supposed to do with this guy while you're gone? It's just gonna like sit on your vanity? I don't know. So as I said, these are your 5 products. You have what looks like 3 blushes, 1 kind of bronzer or contour, and 1 highlighter. Each of these contains 0.15 ounces of product, and a typical Amazonian clay blush that you can get from them is 0.2 ounces. The next product we are going in with is going to be the Smashbox Holidaze Contour Spotlight Palette. This one retails for $39, so a little bit cheaper than the Tarte one. Here is our packaging. It's got a nice hardcover, very thin, very compact. Inside the actual palette, we have a bossy mirror. I'm gonna try really hard not to blind you guys with it. Inside the palette, there are what looks like 2 contour colors, 2 highlight, like powder highlights, and the rest of them look like some sort of shimmer or like a blush topper or something like that. I'm gonna try to keep these products like on either side of my face, but if like one palette is missing a product that the other one has, or if I'm having trouble with one of them and I go and mix in another one, like I'll give you a comprehensive review of these. I might not be able to keep it all like on one side of my face the way I was planning. Anyway, so I'm gonna go in first with the Tarte palette and this color right here, which is called Tan Lines. My first impression of all of this is that it might work pretty well on me, but I'm just a little bit apprehensive as to whether it's going to work well at all on anyone that is even just like a little bit darker complected than I am. I'm gonna take a brush, and I don't know if this is meant to be a contour or if it's meant to be a bronzer. I think it's gonna be a bronzer. We're gonna find out. So I'm gonna take the Tan Lines color. It's way more pigmented than I thought it was gonna be, and just so you guys know, I'm not as fair as I look like I am on camera. Like, it's kind of crazy how fair I look right now. So this is actually a very nice contour color. I was prepared. I feel like a lot of my videos lately I've been like, I didn't think I was gonna like this. I was prepared to hate this, but that's just the truth. And I actually do have some things coming very soon in the mail that I'm sure I'm gonna love. So watch me just be completely devastated when they end up sucking, but that's where we are right now. I don't know if this is meant to be a contour or a bronze specifically, but I will say that I actually really like this color. It's not extremely warm, which is what leads me to believe this might be better served as a contour as opposed to a bronzer, but that's just like so far my initial impression of it. I'm wiping my brush off and I'm gonna go ahead and go into the Smashbox contour palette. So these to me are a little bit different. I get the impression that one of these is clearly meant to be a bronzer and one of them is clearly meant to be a contour. So I'm gonna go in with the one that I believe is meant to be the contour, at least what would pass for a contour on me versus a bronzer, which is this one right here. So this is extremely cool. It's almost turning gray on me. I'm gonna go ahead and mix it in with the warm color. Hopefully this doesn't end up ruining my makeup. This one's definitely having a bit of a harder time blending. What? Smashbox, Tarte. This is making me look very cadaverish on this side. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Oh my god. Oh, I hope this is fixable. So far I can tell you that if you are looking for like the coolest of cool, and I don't mean cool as in like, hey man, that's cool, but cool as in like cool tone contour, this is it, because this is like full-blown gray. Not like a rosy kind of like taupey gray, like gray. Going in with just the warm color because I don't want to make this situation worse, if at all avoidable. This, I hope, is doing justice to what it looks like in person, because in person it is so bad. What have I done? The colors are more pigmented than I expected them to be, which I'll get into later on in the video. Right now, that's actually doing me a disservice, especially on this side. Oh good. I'm gonna have to add a little bit of the cooler toned contour shade from the Smashbox palette to the other side, or they're just gonna look so ridiculously different that it's like a problem. So I'm gonna actually take my bronzer brush in the Tan Lines color from Tarte and use this as a bronzer. So the side that I went in with the Smashbox initially is still really gray, and this side I actually like quite a bit. Like, I didn't think I was gonna like this. I told my friend I was gonna give her all of these gift sets for Christmas because I was like, I'm not gonna like them, you can just have them, but I like this side a lot. Okay, now that I have like a contour bronzer situation going on, I'm not gonna contour my nose on camera because I already did it, and I never, like, I have a very special nose contour color with a special like routine, so that product would never go all over my face anyway. But regardless, I'm going to take the Tarte palette and go in with the color Passport right here. It's a nice like kind of mid-tone neutral shade, and like I said, I'm probably gonna top it off with something a little bit more vivid if it doesn't give me the payoff I want. So far these powders are considerably more pigmented than I expected, so we shall see. It's more pigmented than I expected, but I feel like if you're much darker than me, it's not gonna show up very well. I mean, I don't know. If you like a nude blush, it will, but lately I've been kind of like coming hard for the blush, so I'm going to grab the color Cool Float right here and kind of top it off and see what happens. I'm not really being too like delicate about where I apply all this because I fully intend to clear this up, or excuse me, clean this up with baking powder in a little bit. Oh, loud. Oh, that was so much blush. So the color Poolside is actually pretty pigmented. It reminds me a lot of a color, not exactly identical in terms of finish, but this reminds me a lot of a color Tarte has called Tipsy. It's like a really true, like juicy kind of coral shade, and that's what I got going on right now. So really quickly, I'm going to apply some baking powder right here to kind of clean up what I've done before I move on to the highlighting portion of this. To do that, I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Baking Powder. I recently did a video about this. If you didn't see, I will link it right here. I'm just gonna take a damp beauty blender Oh, please help me out in my time of need. Okay, so I've had this on for about, I don't know, maybe like 30, 45 seconds. That is so gray. Like, I don't know if it's salvageable. Okay, so the blush is on, and as I said before, it's definitely more pigmented than I thought it was going to be. On my Tarte side, I'm gonna go ahead and take what I believe is the intended highlighting powder, which is the color Sandy Cheeks, which is kind of cute. My mom's name is Sandy. So this is actually pretty. To be fair, I am not one of those blinding highlight lovers like so many others are. I'm gonna take a different brush, apply, I don't know, these look like they have glitter in them. I think I'm gonna try this one in the top corner, left-hand corner, my left. This cheek just looks like a hot mess to me. This is so gray, and then you got like a coral blush. It's just not good. But the product is actually a lot better than I thought it would be. I'm gonna try taking this one down the center of my nose. I'm gonna try taking the highlighting powders in the Smashbox palette. Well, actually, I think there's only one. No, there's two. There's like a more yellow toned one, and then there's a stark white one. Is that? No, this is a highlighter. What is this? Okay, so this is like a duochrome shift highlighter situation. So it looks like there's one matte highlighting powder in here. I'm gonna just take a little bit of that and put it in the center of my forehead. Nope, is that shimmery? Did I just put shimmer on my forehead? Yeah, I don't think that's is that what I thought it was? Hold on, what have I got here? So this powder is like shimmery. No, it's not, is it? I don't know. It's like really pigmented, and it's got like a radiance to it, which I need because I talked about in my last video how like it literally doesn't matter what I do. I swear that my forehead ends up looking so much darker than the rest of my skin. Okay, I'm quickly gonna spray myself with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Okay, so I'm gonna break this down for you guys and what my initial thoughts of this product were when I saw them, what I think now, what I think about holiday collections in general, and then from that you can kind of like draw your conclusion about whether or not you think this is a good purchase. So first things first, as far as the Life of the Party palette from Tarte is concerned, I hate this packaging. It is the tackiest thing I've ever seen. I get that it's supposed to be like fun and festive and like party status, but in my mind, like I love the golds and the silvers, obviously, that come with the holidays, and I don't know why you wouldn't just do that instead of this pink. This is like pink and red and silver and blue. Like, it's really tacky. And I get the idea behind it of like, oh, like it's like you're getting a makeup palette, but it's like a makeup palette that you can wear because you can take this out of the house. If any of you guys have ever bought a Tarte palette and taken the palette out of the house and used it as like an actual clutch, please let me know. I don't think I would ever do it. So nice try, Tarte, trying to sell me something that I don't need nor do not want in this case. In terms of the colors themselves, they looked the most unseasoned chicken to me ever when I first bought this. I bought this, I got out to the car, I opened it immediately, and I looked at it, and I was on the phone with my mom when I got it, and I was like, Mom, like, this is not going to work on anyone. It probably won't even work on me because it's way too light. Maybe it's the color of the packaging, like this fuchsia that it's in right now, that gave me that impression, but they ended up not being quite as whitewashed as I expected them to be. But that's still not saying much because they did perform pretty well on me. The only thing in here I didn't use is this color here called Flamingo, which is like a baby pink. I would never wear baby pink blush, so that's not crazy surprising. Deeper skin tones are probably not going to be able to use this. Like, if any of my melanin queens out there get this and end up loving it and it does work for you, please let me know. Please spread the word, because I could be just like spewing all kinds of fake news. But to me, like, if I was still working on clients and this is something I had to use on a dark skinned girl, I would be like, I can't do anything with this. I really love this color in here called Tan Lines. Off the top of my head, I don't know if that's a permanent color in Tarte's collection. I don't often find a lot of colors that I feel like I would use as a contour and a bronzer, but this one I might. I actually really like it. I kind of thought I would get this and then never use it again ever, but I'm semi heavily impressed with this. I just hate the packaging. Hate it so much. Typically, I find, almost without exception at all, that holiday collections of products tend to be of extremely lesser quality versus its like permanent line counterpart, if that makes any sense. Tarte Amazonian Clay blushes are some of my favorite blushes there are. I feel like there's been like entire years that have gone by where I've only used Tarte blushes on my channel. I love their kind of like more nude or neutral range. I find them very blendable, very long wearing. As far as the blushes in here are concerned, I didn't find a whole lot of issues with blending them at all. Just once again, don't feel like they're gonna work on a whole lot of people. And the crazy thing is when you swatch them, like I feel like they just do not swatch well. The only one that's swatching well is the center shade. The rest of them, like you can't even see them. I was able to build it up and it blended out nicely, but if you really are a huge blush lover and you collect a lot of blush and you're very like particular about your blush, I can tell you probably will not be super crazy about this, especially if you like a bold blush. Like lately, my favorite blush has been the Juvia's Place blush in the color Bella. It's just like so juicy and vibrant, which has really been my vibe lately for that. The highlighter was much more blinding or like glowy than I was expecting, because once again, when I was in my car, I just didn't find that it swatched quite as well, but it performed really well on the cheeks, so I do like that. I think I would give this palette like a 3.5 out of 5. I think I need to take the half points out of my rating system, because so many things that are like okay and passable, I give a 3.5, but that doesn't mean I would encourage you to buy it necessarily. In this particular case, I would say if you are buying this for someone who is really getting into makeup, like kind of just dipping their toes in, or if you're buying it for yourself and you just want to expand your makeup collection, this is a solid product that I think you could get a good idea of what's in store for you with Tarte's formula. As far as the value goes, which is usually what I'm always looking at, I don't want people to think that just because these holiday sets are relatively inexpensive, that means it's like what you should spend your money on, as opposed to just going ahead and taking the money and buying full-size versions of things you will love and use consistently and that are of the quality that the brand is probably well known for. 3.5 out of 5, and I'm taking the whole 1.5 off for the combination of really fugly packaging and the fact that, like I said, there's just not a lot of people who are going to be able to use this if you're of a deeper skin tone. I don't know why they wouldn't come out with more than one of these, because missed opportunity, Tarte. All right, now as far as the Smashbox contour palette, I can't compare anything other than the Smashbox Step by Step Contour 6 to this as far as like Smashbox contouring products. Smashbox does have a lot of products I really enjoy, but I don't own any of the contouring palettes or their highlighting products, so I can't tell you like how they measure up. I can just speak about this solely. So the thing about this that I hated the most, absolutely hated, was this contour shade right here in the corner. It looks like a cool tone shade in the pan, so I shouldn't have been like hyper surprised by what happened. I would never ever recommend this to be used on anyone that's like anywhere near my skin tone. This is like a nightmare contour color for me. Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow palette, which is my favorite contour product, obviously it's like almost completely gone, is very cool tone in the pan, and it's not crazy dark. So I don't judge contour products off of like how deep they are. I don't think that's wise in my opinion, because I tend to want something that I can build and control. So the pro, if I had to say, pro of this contour powder is that it did not need a lot of building up at all, which would be awesome if it was a color that I liked, but I hate this color on me. It's not cute at all. That's not to say it won't work for anyone, but it did not work for me. Center color here is a little bit more warm. I probably should have gone in with that one, but it looked more like a bronzer shade to me. I put the highlight powder in the center of my forehead, and it has a little bit of an iridescence to it. It's not totally matte. It is a little bit chalky when you swatch it, but it applied very smoothly. I was super surprised. The highlight shade actually ended up being much prettier than I thought it was gonna be. An interesting array of highlighting shades in here. There are some in here that almost look like blush toppers, like this one in the outer corner. There's one down here at the bottom, which I thought was another like matte highlighting, like under eye setting powder, maybe meant for someone who's extremely fair, but it turned out to also be a highlighter that's like chalky white with a pink undertone shift thing going on. So like, I don't really like that one. I don't think I would use it. Where I think this palette kind of succeeds, where the Tarte one failed, is the packaging. This packaging is much better. I mean, I still think this is kind of tacky, but the actual component itself is much more travel friendly and like realistic, because if I had to put one of these in my suitcase today, I don't know if I could like put this one in here. It's so huge. I'm gonna still take the point off for the shade selection, because I really think they missed an opportunity by not making two different kind of highlighting and contour palettes for the holidays. If any, once again, of my chocolate girls get this and end up using it and loving it, please tell me and everyone below, so that I'm not like trying to talk y'all out of buying something that you absolutely can use, but I just don't know. So in general, I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm kind of done with contour kits and have been for quite some time. I don't really see the benefit of having contour kits once you reach a certain place in your makeup game. Like, I know technically this is considered a palette or a contour palette, but I mean, it's one shade. It's this one shade that I need to contour my skin. I don't need a palette with like multiple tones. I think contour palettes are really good for people who are just getting started in makeup when they're trying to figure out like what undertones work best for them. But as I've said before, if you get a contour kit and like, let's say you buy this and you love it, when this runs out, you just throw the whole palette away. Like, you're still gonna have to go find another contour color. So like, in that respect, I'm not a fan of them, but the people that do like contour kits, this is pretty decent. As I said, I would give this a 4 out of 5. It's a really good beginner makeup product. I don't know if like seasoned, full-blown makeup lovers are gonna find this to be anything super crazy exceptional. I don't think we're gonna see this in any favorites videos coming up. Like, it's just, it's fine. It's fine. The final question is, which one do I think is better? Which one do I think is worth the money? Which one do I think I would want to receive as a gift? Which one do I think I'd give as a gift? It's pretty simple. As much as I hate this ugly packaging, this one to me is definitely the better value. I think that the array of products in here, with it being like just one bronzer, a highlighter, and 3 blushes, is a little bit more useful. I feel like the powders themselves performed really, really well. And honestly, I'm just always gonna be a sucker for Tarte's cheek products. I really love them. This is the winner. I have more holiday collection, smackdown reviews, whatever you want to call them, coming in the future. So if you don't want to miss them, make sure you are subscribed. Hit the notification button so you do not miss any of my uploads. Check the down bar for links to all my social media platforms. I gotta go. It's been real. I'm not that guy. I gotta go. I will see you guys next time.